Hello once again to my channel. In this video, I'll be treating the criteria examiners use to mark English essays in WAEC, NECO and NABTEB. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel. If you have already subscribed, please press the like button, share with family and friends. For the essay questions, the instruction reads that candidates must answer one question, and that one question carries 50 marks. The criteria used by examiners to mark English language essays falls under the acronym COEM or COEMA. Some students call it COEM, some call it COEMA. COEMA, the C stands for content. The O stands for organization. The E stands for expression, and the MA stands for mechanical accuracy. Content, organization, expression, and mechanical accuracy. Before you start answering the questions, there is a very important instruction, and that instruction reads: your essay should not be less than 450 words. Your essay should not be less than 450 words. And this instruction is very important, and you must take into consideration the importance of the instruction before you begin to answer your essay question. Now we are going to look at the criteria one after the other. We'll start with content. Content carries 10 marks. Content carries 10 marks out of the 50 marks allotted for the one essay question. Content means relevance of ideas to the chosen topic. Relevance of ideas to the chosen topic. Relevance of ideas to the chosen topic. The examiner is going to look out if your ideas suit your chosen topic in the process of marking. If, for example, you are asked to write a letter to an uncle who lives in Canada, reminding him about your school fees and telling him the situation in your country, Nigeria. Hearing the word Canada, many students get carried away. They take their biros, and under the content they are writing about telling their uncle that they just want to come to Canada and live in Canada. They have forgotten the topic they are supposed to write on. And so examiners are looking out for whether the question you have chosen suits the ideas you have, suit the question you have chosen. If you write a letter to your uncle, you must answer the question telling him about your school fees and situation in your country, Nigeria. Not telling your uncle that you want to start to live in Canada, and you get carried away. Doing so, you have not answered the question correctly. Secondly, the examiner will also look at if you are using the right language. Each topic has its own language. They have their own language. If you're writing, for example, an informal letter, the language of an informal letter is different from that of a formal letter. So you must take note and be very sure that you are using the right language. Examiners also look out for originality. Your approach must be very, very original. Many candidates look at past questions, question and answers, and then they just get those answers and use them. You must be original in your writing. That will make you score marks, because those are the things the examiners are looking for while marking your essays. There's also the issue of repetition of irrelevant points. Because the instruction says you must write 450 words, many candidates end up just writing irrelevant points to make sure they're able to meet that target of 450 words. And once you do that, you are going out of order. At the end of the day, you end up writing, not getting, scoring high. And by so doing, it brings us to penalties for wrong doing in English language. You know, in English language, when you make mistakes, there are penalties, and those penalties are deduction of marks. And so you must learn to avoid such things so that your marks are not deducted. Because for English language or any other subject, you are looking for a way of collecting all the marks from the examiner. So to be able to achieve having a good content, you must start writing. Before you start writing, you must make sure you understand the topic. Make sure you pick the topic that you can write on effectively and have enough points to develop in the process of writing. In that way, you are sure that you will score very high marks in your content. The next criteria the examiners look for while marking essays is organization. Organization, like content, also carries 10 marks too. It also carries 10 marks out of 50. Here, the examiner is looking out for the use of formal features for the chosen topic. The use of formal features for the chosen topic. Each topic has its own features. The features of an essay, of a letter, an informal letter, is different from that of an informal letter. The features of an article, debate story, they are different. All topics have their own different features, and so the examiner is looking out for how perfectly you have arranged your points by using formal features for each topic. The examiner is looking under organization, also looking out for your paragraphs, which should be logically and chronologically coherent. Each paragraph should have one point well developed. Don't lump two ideas in one paragraph. Pick a particular idea, talk about that idea in that paragraph, and then the next one you continue with the other ideas. Don't lump 2 points in one paragraph. Very important. They also look out for your opening. You must have good opening, well developed paragraphs. There should be flow of ideas from one paragraph to the other, so that as the examiner is reading, there's a flow, there's a continuity. All these are the things that the examiners will look out for while marking your essays under organization. And please, you must also note that if you write a wrong content, you are automatically going to score 0. For that, 0 is legitimate. And when you score 0 in content, you are going to score 0 in organization. And content and organization are areas where candidates can score very high marks. If you know the question you are answering and you have all the points, you can score as much as 8 over 10 in content. You can score as much as 8 over 10 in organization. And so if you are now going to score 0 in content and 0 in organization, that means you have already lost 20 marks. And for making that mistake, your expression will also be marked out of 8. So all these things must be put into consideration when you are answering questions. Know what the examiners are looking for, so that at the end of the day, your scores are not deducted. The next criteria the examiners look out for when marking essays is expression. Expression carries the highest mark. It carries 20 marks out of 50. Expression carries 20 marks out of the 50 marks allotted to that particular question. Now, what is expression? Expression means choosing the correct vocabulary. Choosing the correct vocabulary. Here, examiners are looking out for your use of correct grammar, and they must be used perfectly. And you must avoid the use of ambiguous words. Instead, use very clear words and sentences. Use clear words and sentences. Avoid the use of ambiguous words. To buttress your points, don't use phrases like "in my opinion." Instead, use linking words. Linking words like "in addition," "subsequently," "moreover," "however," "consequently," "thereby," "also." Don't use phrases. They will look out for those things, those your use of phrases. Don't use phrases. Instead, use linking words, just like the ones I mentioned earlier on. Examiners also look at your use of the simple vocabulary to convey your message. Avoid the use of big vocabulary. When I say big in quotes, many candidates love to use big grammar, big vocabulary. They want to impress the examiners. We are not impressing the examiners. Use those vocabulary that can be easily understood to be able to convey your points, convey your message. So when the examiner is reading, he knows that this candidate knows what he or she is writing, and is ready to give the scores that you deserve. The last criteria there is mechanical accuracy. Mechanical accuracy. For mechanical accuracy, the examiner is looking out for your use of grammar, punctuation, and spelling. Your use of grammar, punctuation, and spelling. For mechanical accuracy, most candidates score 0/10 here because they don't follow the rules of grammar, punctuation, and spelling. Any mistake that is any student undergoes under mechanical accuracy is minus half a mark. Once there's any mistake, the examiner is going to ring that mistake, either spelling, punctuation. They ring. Once the rings are there, at the end of the marking, the examiner counts those rings. If every ring is minus half a mark, and you have 20 rings, that means you have already scored 0/10. So to avoid such, you must use punctuation, spelling, and grammar in the right order, because examiners are going to look out for those mistakes and ring them. And once they ring, every ring is minus half a mark. And by the time they count 20 rings, you have already lost. That's minus 10. You have already lost your 10 marks. So to avoid such, you must follow these instructions. After all said, you must note that if a candidate writes on a topic irrelevant to the question that is set, that candidate is going to score 0 for content, and also score 0 for organization. And because you have scored 0 for content and 0 for organization, you will not score more than 8 marks for expression. You will not score more than 8 marks for expression. It's also going to affect your scores for mechanical accuracy. And so to avoid this, losing all these marks, candidates must learn to follow the instructions that have been set down. Look out for what examiners are looking out for when they are marking your essays. If you study those things, you study the content of this video, you will have no problem in answering questions on your essays. The instructions are simple and straightforward. Just follow them, the instructions, and you realize that by the time you finish writing your essay, you are good to go. You are going to score high marks. You have just one question. You have 5 essay questions to pick one. Just one question. So as a candidate, you must look for that question that you know and know very well. You can answer and give all the points so that you are going to be able to make the 450 words that you have been asked to write, because less than 450 words is also going to be a problem for you. And any problem in in English language is a penalty, and the penalty is what? Deduction of marks. Yes, so that is on content, organization, expression, and mechanical accuracy. If you are new to this channel, subscribe. But if you have subscribed before, give us a thumbs up and share with family and friends. And let us have your comment in the comment section. Thank you and God bless.